What's going on, guys? It's your boy Nate be lit, because Nate really does be lit. And today, man, it's a special one today. I got my sensei with me right now, right? And I'm gonna ask him some hard-hitting questions. I hope they're hard-hitting anyway. You know, I want to entertain you guys as much as we can. So let me just give you a little insight into who this young, handsome gentleman is to my left, right? So this young gentleman is someone that has been instrumental in helping me level up to, you know, where I'm at right now, and, you know, continuously, you know, moving forward, right? This young gentleman is a stylish individual. Show them what's going on right now, my brother. Yeah,
out here, man.
Yeah, and he's someone that is just a real person, you know? Like, he says it as it is. You know, he's created an abundance of success for himself, you know, for his family. You know, I see this guy traveling, you know, having fun, you know, just living life on the cool side, right? This guy is not someone, like I said earlier, that minces his words. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing my brother, my sensei, the master of coin.
Hey, what's going on, my bro?
Come on, man, bro. This has been long overdue, my brother. So I want to get straight into it, right? We're going to be talking a lot of trading stuff, and we are like, bro, we're going to get into some interesting stuff on the way, right? So I guess my first question for you, my bro, is, where did this all start? Like, what was it like for you starting off? In fact, you know what? Furthermore, before you even get into your trading journey, what was you like as like little Kieran growing up?
So, man, like, if we go right back to the beginning, we never grew up with money in my family. You know, I grew up in Southeast London, Peckham, with me, my mum, my dad, my brother. We was in a one-bedroom flat.
Yeah.
We were so broke, like, even getting McDonald's was a big deal, you know?
Yeah, I remember those times.
Yeah, bro. So, seeing, like, obviously coming from that background, I see my family always trying to make money in different ways. So naturally, that sort of rubbed off on me. I tried loads of different ways to make money. At one point, I was a street pharmacist, to say the least.
Yeah.
At one point, I was selling like Yeezys and Supreme. I had a little bot that was going off. At one point, I was selling makeup. Don't ask me about that. And I tried loads of different things to make money. And I've always sort of been ambitious because I saw my family be grinding. But I never really had that one thing that really stuck until obviously I found trading. So I hated authority. I hated being told what to do. So it's when I got my first job, you know, the whole idea of, oh, you can eat at a certain time, you can go to a toilet at a certain time, you have to ask to go on holiday. Like, it never meshed with me, you know? So you could say I was a little bit rebellious. I didn't like authority. But I always tried to make money in whatever way I could. And I never let anyone tell me no.
Yeah.
Sometimes benefited me, sometimes didn't. But I think just having that sort of like resilient mindset, no matter what happened, I just kept going, bro. You know, so I, you know, always just tried different things, really.
You mentioned obviously like not really liking authority and kind of not wanting to go the route that is, you know, most commonly traveled, if you will, right? What do you think was the biggest contributing factor to you wanting to go a different route? Like, would you say it was more the struggle, or would you say it was more like the understanding that there was more out there? Like, what was it for you, my brother?
So, in my household, my dad was the only one that worked, and he worked night shifts.
Okay.
So where he was working night shifts, he would be sleeping all day. So I never really got to spend a lot of time with him. And I was seeing him put in all that work, and we didn't really have any money, you know? So it's like, I'm seeing my dad do 12-hour night shifts, you know, sleeping all day, because obviously he's doing a night shift, right?
Yeah.
So it was like a bit of both. It was not having that family time. Now, obviously, I spent a lot of time with my mum, but my dad was always working, and then seeing all that effort go in, and you know, it was very hard for us. So for me, I think having that sort of mindset really come from, just, you know, like, you know, you go to school and like some of the kids got the new trainers or the new games, right, or the new clothes or like that. You remember that little night backpack everyone had back in the day?
Oh, bro. What, they just do it bag?
Yeah.
Oh, bro.
You see everyone with that, and like, I got a JD bag, and I'm like, right. You know what I mean? Like, so it was, bro, it was definitely the struggle, and just really seeing my family work hard no matter what, as much as they can, to try and give us, you know, a good life.
Moving on a bit more into like when you actually started learning how to trade, because I know obviously you said that there was a lot of, you know, hustling. You were trying to sell this, trying to sell that. So talk to me about how you actually stumbled across into trading. Was it something that was like introduced to you? Was it something that you went searching for? Like, talk to me about that journey.
I'm a big believer in law of attraction, right? The laws of the universe. I was studying them through an artist, XXX Tentacion,
Yes, yeah, I
right?
know. Yeah.
So he was talking about the laws of the universe, and you become what you think about. You start attracting things into your life, and I was going for a really bad point, right? I got arrested like 3 times in 2 weeks. I was getting in fights. People were pulling knives on me. I was having terrible relationships, and everything was just getting really bad. And one of the times I got arrested, I remember I was just like praying, honestly, bro, for a sign for something.
Mm.
I get released at some mad time in the morning. My phone rings. This guy calls me, and I'm like, "Oh, what's going on, man? I spoke to you in a while." And he's like, "Bro, I found a way we can make money." I'm like, "Bro, I just got arrested."
Yeah, yeah.
And he's like, "No, bro, there's this thing called Forex." I'm like, "Forex is that food? Is that what is that?"
Yeah.
He's like, "No, it's trading." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "What the banks do." I'm like, "Bro, I'm dumb. I can't do that." He's like, "Just meet me." Long story short, there was no pitch yet. He just generally was showing me like baby pips and those sort of
not
things.
baby pips.
Yeah. Oh mate, nightmare. Went on trading 212, put some money in an account, and I doubled my account, bro, in like 30 seconds. I was gassed. I was like, bro, I'm gonna be rich now. Like, this is real. It's only £100 to £200.
Yeah.
Doubled it, and I thought, yeah, I'm gonna be rich. And then naturally, what happens? You keep trading. I kept trading, and about 5 minutes later, the account was from 200 to 0.
Ouch.
Yeah.
How did that feel?
I cried. Because I used to work in Sainsbury's as well, and I'd only make £400 a month. So that was like half of my almost net worth, right?
Yeah.
So it was hard, bro. And then from there, I was like, right, it's real because I've made money. Obviously, I lost it, so I was then dedicated to try and learn. So yeah, I was like trying on YouTube and YouTube University, different courses, all of that, and none of it was really working, to be honest with you, until I actually met one of my first mentors. But it was a time, bro. It was hard. I was losing a lot of money, and it just, bro, so it just came to me. Again, I'm a big believer in law of attraction, and I felt like because I was praying for that sign and then I was looking for it, naturally the universe or God gave me the people, places, circumstances, and events to try and make that happen.
Yeah.
And it was then just down to me to see if I'm really going to act on it.
Right. So you're studying on YouTube, you're studying on Google, you're studying all of these places. Where was it that you were like, okay, cool, there's actually some motion here. Like I can actually start learning. Like what was the beginning of your learning journey like?
It was honestly when I actually got a one-to-one mentor.
Okay.
For someone who actually was willing to sit down and talk to me, bro. To be honest with you, in school, like I wasn't the most, I kind of was, but I kind of wasn't. Like I was a bit of an introvert, to be honest with you. And I kind of had like now someone who's like wanted me to win. It was weird because in London, growing up, people don't want you to win.
Facts.
Like people are dragging you down all the time. You tell your friend about an idea, they're like, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
So
cynical.
So having someone who like kind of was willing to help me and believed in me. Now, granted, I had to pay him, obviously, but having that sort of attention, I was like, right, maybe I can actually do it now. Just having that real support. So I think that was the real turning point where I was like, no, this can actually be tangible because I saw someone who had the results I wanted. They was living it. They was, my age too. Well, at the time, I think I was like 17, 18, around those times. And just seeing someone who could actually do it and is doing it and is willing to help me, I was like, wow, this is actually possible for me.
You started learning, you're working one-to-one with this person. When you were actually on your journey, you were going through the training with this individual. Did it get easy from there, or was there still a lot of challenges en route? Oh no,
Mate, challenges! Oh my god! So bro, like after working with him for like 2 months, bro, I called him up crying, right? And I'm like, "It's not working, bro. Like, what's going on? I spent this money on you. Like, you're scamming me, bro." Da 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 da. And he's like, "All right, no, tell me what you're doing." And I said, "All right." So I think I've watched 4 of the videos you sent me out of like 30. Right?
Okay.
And, he's like, well, how much time are you spending? I was like, maybe 20 minutes a day. He just laughed at me. He said, bro, like, what are you doing? You think you're going to get results? You're not doing anything, you know? He basically just sort of slapped me in the face, hypothetically, and made me realize I need to be doing more work, putting in more time, putting more effort and taking it seriously. And then that was the point where I realized, all right, I need to be doing way more volume. I got to do more than I thought is, I was only doing 10 minutes a day. So he was telling me like when he was at my stage, he was doing around 5 hours, so almost 10 hours a day of studying, learning,
Right.
So that was like the point where I realized, right, I need to do more.
You mentioned a very interesting word there, right? Or a very interesting term. You said, you're scamming me. And I just want to stay on this topic for a minute, right? Because we're in an age of information right now, right? And there's a lot of, you know, training courses or training, you know, like there's a lot of training out there. There's a lot of, you know, stuff out there for people to learn. For yourself, where do you stand with this training stuff? Like, what do you think is going on right now? Because a lot of people talk about scams. A lot of people talk about this. What was it? And I'm guessing you would have heard about this upon, you know, working with this individual as well, right? So what was it that made you think to yourself, but he could scam me, but I'm still going to go through it anyway? Like, what was that?
You know what, bro? Like, it was just my mindset, bro. Like, I had that, 50 Cent mindset, get rich or die trying.
Yeah.
You know? And like, I sort of had, I don't want to say I had success. I didn't have success, but through like the other little businesses I was doing, that sort of taught me, no, you got to push through a little bit more.
Yeah.
So I realized that. I also read a book called Mastery by Robert Greene, and it spoke about, you're going to go through failure. You have to go towards pain and uncomfortable things. And that really solidified like, oh, no, it's not going to be easy. There's going to be times. And so when I'm going through this stuff, firstly, I saw that he had other students who were actually successful and making money. And when I actually was learning from him, he was actually teaching me things that it made sense. He was telling me about Wyckoff schematics, how institutions fill orders, and not using this ICT crap, but it was real tangible stuff. So real like hearing that, learning it was making sense. That sort of made me have a bit more belief in it, and obviously seeing him live that life. But again, not just him, because people can lie.
Yeah,
it was more so the students he had.
Yeah,
and where I could actually like go in his group chat and talk to these people, and they would say like, no, like, I've got a payout, or I've got my first payout, or I've made X amount this month. That really solidified the belief. So when I was sort of going through it, he didn't lie to me, bro. He said, look, it's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, and you're not going to get rich overnight.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. Because there were some other people who were like, yeah, buy this, use this scanner, buy this course, and bro, like, you're going to quit your job.
Yeah. So okay, so just talking on that, right? Because I was in the same company that you were in, right? And I want to stay on this point because obviously it's something that's, network marketing, if you will, something that is, pretty big at the moment. What is your view on network marketing trading companies where it's like, oh yeah, let's just keep it there for a minute. What is your view on network marketing trading companies?
So network marketing, for obviously people who don't know it, it's like an affiliate-based business model, where people obviously have like products and services and they refer people. Now, it's a double-edged sword because trading, it requires like kind of not, I don't want to say being by yourself, but trading is something that you need to really learn and lock in and focus on. It does require time and attention to study, obviously not to trade.
Right.
But then when you go into these like groups, sometimes people are just not focusing on trading, right? Like when we joined that network marketing company, yeah, you can learn to trade all this. Cool. Let me learn to trade. And then like, I remember I asked my first mentor before I met my real one, right? I was like, so how do I set up a demo account? And she goes, bearing in mind, right, she was promoting herself as this really successful woman, retired from her job, blah, blah, blah. And I asked her, how do I set up a demo account? And she goes, what is a demo account?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
So, you know what I'm saying, fam? So I'm like, bro, how are you going to teach me how to trade when you can't even trade yourself?
Yeah.
So from then, that was when I sort of was like, right, I'm going to sort of stay away. Now, granted, I'm going to be grateful because she did open the door and teach me about personal development and growing my mind. So I'm a big believer in the seed of equivalent benefit, meaning you can take value from any situation.
Yeah.
So I took the value from that situation. Then that's when I actually found my mentor. And we actually, like, he didn't care about signups, bro. He didn't care about like courses. He was just like, bro, like, if you want me to, like, so I'd sent him a DM on Instagram, like he was one of the speakers or the educators, right? And I'm sent him just 4 voice notes on Instagram, like pouring my heart out to him. And he was just like, look, bro, look, it's not easy. If you really want to do this with you, like, yeah, I'll work with you, I'll help you, I'll guide you. You're going to have to pay me, obviously. But listen, if you don't want to do it, I don't really care. And then I said, all right, well, okay. I was still kind of hesitant. He said, look, bro, if you want to do it, cool. If not, cool. But if you want something to change in your life, something's going to have to change in your life. And I think as well, where I didn't invest in some of the courses before, I didn't really take it seriously. But when I started to actually pay, so I had 2 main mentors in my life. Now, the first one, like he was great, he's fantastic. He really opened the door to Wyckoff and everything through the network marketing platform. And it was fantastic. Then I met my second mentor. The second guy, I had to pay him over 10 grand for 2 days in person.
Jesus.
Bro, I paid that. And I was hurting, bro.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah. I took that seriously now. And I had to get a loan. I didn't have that 10 grand. But the point was, like, I took that now really seriously. So I think with the network marketing stuff in those companies, they can be good for the mindset and the environment and networking and opening your mind to start a journey. But like, if you really want to trade, bro, you're not going to make that work in a network marketing company. I'm sorry. And the thing is, for me, it just came down to like, what are these people focusing on? Oh, training, Zoom call. Cool, let me hop on. This is how you invite someone to a phone call. But I don't want to learn about that.
Yeah.
You know, I want to learn how to actually make money and press buttons.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, naturally, of course, 100%. Okay, so what I've kind of gauged so far is that, you know, you were paying to be in a network marketing company and it wasn't that expensive, right?
I think they had like a couple packages, like 120 or 250 pound a month, something like that.
Okay, cool. So you were spending less, right? And was you taking it as seriously as you were taking it the one-to-one?
No, bro. So when I paid that money, like obviously it hurt me back then.
Yeah.
But like it wasn't that much of a pain, you know?
Yeah.
So when I called him up after a few months telling me he's a scammer, that was because I wasn't putting in the work. So I didn't really take it seriously because it wasn't really enough skin in the game, you know?
Yeah.
It didn't really burn enough for me to act. But when I got that second one and I had to fly out to Miami, bro, I had no money. Like when I got there, bro, like I didn't even have money for food out there, bro. I didn't even have money for a transport. I had to walk from Fort Lauderdale to downtown Miami, which took me around like almost 5 hours to get to this guy's house.
Wait. You walked for 5 hours?
Yes, I had no money to get a taxi, bro.
Right, okay, hold on. Let's just pause this whole thing right now. So you not only paid to get there, and you wasn't going for enjoyment as well. Like you were going to get something, right?
Straight up.
You knew that you were going to pay to obviously be mentored by this person. And you walk. That's a lot of fucking pain, bro.
Because bro, I spent 10 G's. Like I gotta get there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Okay, cool. So what I'm getting was that, and again, correct me if I'm wrong here. Had you not increased the level of pain to get through the door, you most likely wouldn't be where you are right now.
Oh, facts, bro. Like when I was paying that couple £100 a month, like I wasn't really taking it that seriously, bro. Like, you know, he had like 30 videos and I've watched like maybe 4 or 5 or something, bro.
Yeah.
But you know, when I paid that guy, bro, I'm recording every second. I'm taking notes till my hands bleed, bro.
Yeah.
Like I was rewatching the recordings like 20, 30, 40, 50. Even to this day, that pain is still imprinted in my head. I still rewatch my old trainings.
Right.
10 years later, almost.
Right.
So for me, yeah, bro, like having that pain, having that skin in the game and that investment, that's what made me take it seriously.
Right.
Now, maybe some people are different, but for me, bro, like that's what I needed. I needed that. It was like, do or die. I can't go back on this now.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, that's such a big point that you just said about like the pain thing. Because I think a lot of people, they say that they're willing to do whatever it takes. But in your story so far, you actually showed like, no, forget all of the talking. Let me just get straight to the, let me get straight to the pain and let me go through it. So, okay, so you're learning. Yeah, so you're learning, you've paid now, you're learning, you're on your journey. What, like, was there ever a point in your journey so far up until this point where you thought, okay, this might actually not work?
Almost every day, bro, if I'm being real with you, man, because like even when I paid that guy the money, obviously this was someone that I have to be careful what I say because I've signed some documents, but this was someone who was working for a large institution, right? So I knew he was legitimate, but even when I'm doing the things he's telling me, I'm not seeing any results, you know? Like I'm going through the courses, sending charts to him, call whatever, but I'm getting it wrong.
Right.
And I'm thinking, oh, fuck, bro, this is too hard. But, kept pushing through. Now I get past that stage and I start actually trading, losing money. I'm like, brother, what is going on? So, bro, of course, there was so many times I doubted myself, man. I thought maybe this guy's actually scammed me. Like, can I get a refund? All those thoughts came through my mind.
Yeah.
But, the biggest kind of thing that stuck with me was if it's meant to be, it's up to me. And having that mindset of, look, if I really want this to work, I must make it work. There's no excuses. Yeah. I had no plan B. You can see I've got tattoos. I've got a tattoo on my face. Like it for me, like I didn't get this because I want to look cool. It was a commitment that like if I do not make this work, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
Now, maybe some people might hear that and think, yeah, it's hardcore, but I'm a big believer of be obsessed or be average.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be the guy who's like, you know, put my toe in, put my toe out. No, because where did that get me in my life? You know, I was broke, I was busted, I was disgusted.
Yeah.
But when I had that all-in mindset of like, even like, for example, when I was at my job, bro, like I wasn't even taking it seriously because I was trying to trade. Like I was taking extra lunch breaks, running to the toilets. Like my manager would say, get off your phone. Once I laughed at him. I was making a bit of money then, so that's why.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
You know? Uni, bro, I wasn't even taking it seriously, bro. You know, so the thing is, like, I just had that all-in obsessed mindset, bro, and it was like if I want it to pay me like a business, I got to treat it like one. You know, otherwise, if I treat it like a hobby, it will cost me like a hobby.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, cool. So let me just get this straight. So you'd paid already for this mentorship. You were still working at the time?
Yeah.
Okay. How did you manage learning how to trade and working? Like what was that like? Because the reason I'm asking this question, because I want the people that are watching this right now to understand, like, you started off the same as what a lot of us started off at, but you got a different result to what a lot of people got right now. So you were working. Where was you working?
So I was doing Sainsbury's. It's like a part-time job. I was pushing trolleys. I was a trolley boy outside. I also had a couple other side hustles, which obviously I mentioned earlier. Okay,
cool. Perfect. So you're working and you're putting your hours into this thing. You're trying to improve yourself. You're doing your side hustles as well. And you're learning how to trade.
And I was at uni too, apparently.
And you was at uni. Yeah. Okay, cool.
Well, at uni.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. So there was a lot of, your time was being divided in a lot of different places. So how did you go about maneuvering through learning how to trade and still having all your other commitments and getting to the point where it's like, hold on a minute, I can actually leave my job? Because there would have been a point where you were like, hold on, I can actually leave, right? Mm-hmm. How did you go about maneuvering that? Like what specific tangible things were you doing that enabled you to kind of go through that journey and eventually leave work?
So honestly, bro, like I just prioritized trading. I didn't care about anything else. I'm in my uni lecture, I got TradingView open.
Right.
You know, I'm at work where I'm taking extra lunch breaks. I was hiding in my car. I was listening to audiobooks. Like I was taking sick days to go meet my mentor. Like, now I don't recommend that because I almost lost my job a lot of times. But for me, it was like, I don't care about anything else. This is the thing that I have to make work. So, I mean, obviously time management is very important.
Yeah.
Structuring my days, you know, having certain times to do things because I did have uni assignments. My mom was going crazy. You're not doing your uni assignments. You got to get this done. You're not going to uni today. You know, going crazy to me. I mean, I was lucky to still live with my parents at the time. Yeah. But honestly, bro, it's obsession. And like, I did plan my days too. So when I knew, like, all right, cool, I got work from maybe 8 till like 6 or 8 till 8 or something like that, right? I would know that, all right, cool, at work, I can clear the car park with the trolleys in 20 minutes. So if I do that for 20 minutes, I'm not going to check for another hour till it gets busy. Right. So 20 minutes doing that, I can run off to my car for 45 minutes, go and watch a video or read a book or open the charts. So it was planning, it was structuring and really being efficient with my time as well. But also prioritizing, bro. You know, like I stopped hanging out with my friends. I didn't go with any girls. I literally left the group chats. Anyone would call me to meet up. No, I'm not. This is what I'm doing. At lunch breaks when I was, for example, going to the lunchroom. Yo, what's going on, Kieran? How's your shift? Sorry, bro, I'm busy. Headphones in. I didn't want to socialize. I didn't want to talk to anyone because, like, I want to help my mum, my family, my dad, and I want to change my life. So yeah, it was having that organization and knowing what I'm going to do at certain times, but also being completely obsessed and saying, nothing else matters apart from this. What
I've gauged so far, because I'm taking mental notes, bro. Like, I'm learning. I'm being selfish. I won't lie to you, right? So I've gathered so far commitment, and you wasn't really, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but you wasn't really, like, you didn't really care about balance. You were like, okay, I'm all in on this thing. Everything else.
No such thing as balance, bro. If you try and balance, you're gonna fall over.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I wasn't focusing on balancing. I'm focusing on my goal and where I'm going.
Okay, that's interesting because so many people want to focus on balancing the social life and balancing this and balancing that. You were like, fuck all of that.
Bro, well, okay. So who am I going to socialize with? I'm an average of the 5 people I surround my most time with. So if I'm hanging around with broke, I'm going to be broke. Yeah. So the only time I would socialize was when it was like people who had the results I wanted. Yeah. And I'm not talking, I'm asking questions. I'm being a student. I'm not trying to tell you what I know because what I know has got me that result, which was nothing. So Yeah, bro, it was just absolute all obsession. Like, stop listening to music, straight audiobooks all day long, audios. You know, on that 12-hour shift, 80, 90% of the shift is audiobooks.
Yeah.
Brainwashing myself and just being absolutely obsessed. Like, I actually sold my Xbox, right? I used to be an Xbox guy.
Yeah.
Sold that because, bro, what am I going to do? I'm play GTA? I'm trying to live real life GTA.
Yeah,
you know?
facts.
So, bro, absolute obsession. Sold that and was just all in on my skills and trying to grow.
Moving forward, right? You've obviously started accruing some success, if you will, and you eventually get to the point where you leave your job. Now, most people will think, oh, he's left his job. That's what you see on YouTube, right? You see the fancy right, and it says, oh, man leaves his job and da-da-da. Like, for you, when you left your job, was that it now? Or was it smooth sailing, or was it what happened from there?
The end.
Okay.
Leaving my job, being a full-time, so I got to the point where I had enough money to quit my job through trading. I quit my job and I was super excited. I was super gassed. And that was the start of the end.
Okay.
That was when it went downhill.
Talk to me about that.
So, you know, I had a few funded accounts. I had a nice little personal account.
Okay.
And then I thought, I'm the man, bro. You know, I'm 20. I just quit my job. No one can tell me nothing anymore, right? Dropped out of uni. I'm making more money than my teacher, bro.
Oh,
I'm
no.
gassed.
Right.
But this is where it went crazy because obviously I did have other commitments, but I went from maybe spending, I couldn't tell you exactly how many hours a day, but from spending a little bit of time to now all of my time trading. So it was at a point where, because I was over focusing on the markets, I was over trading. I was doing too much to trade. I wasn't studying, wasn't journaling, wasn't learning. I was over trading because I had that taste of success and I got addicted to it. I wanted more.
Okay.
So, you hit your first 5K payout. You want that again. So what was I doing? I was, instead of spending a few hours trading my sessions, all day, every day trading. So what happened then, I lost all my funded accounts. My personal account went into a fat drawdown and like I thought I had to go back to work, bro. Called my mentor. I'm like, again, what's good, bro? I just quit my job.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, cool. Talk me through what you're doing. What are you actually doing? And he basically, the reason why it went downhill was because I stopped doing the things that got me to that point. I became too big for the little things, so I became too little for the big things.
Right. Okay.
I stopped asking questions, stopped learning, stopped back testing, stopped getting assistance, stopped journaling. I stopped doing all those things that got me there, and that was why I started to backtrack.
Right.
And then that's when it all went downhill. Now, once I started to, obviously, luckily I had the mentor to hold me accountable, and then he put me on a game plan again. And the game plan wasn't really anything different. It was just what I was doing to get me to that point. So I just get back to the game plan, built myself up again. You know, once you can have the skill set, and I had a track record, so it was just like a small bit of drawdown.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, all right, cool. Get back to it, do my things, and then it started to grow again, got funded again, and it just continued to grow. And obviously, we're 5, 6, 7 now years later.
Yeah. And you're shining, my bro.
I hope so.
All right. So I want to stay here, right? So in that period, because I want to ask the questions that are really gonna like help the people that are watching this right now. You said you had a period where you lost your funded accounts, you were in drawdown. You're like, okay, shit, I can see the house starting to crumble, right? Like in that time, well, for starters, do you remember how long you were in that funk for?
Probably like 2 months, I would say.
Okay,
but
cool.
Luckily, before I quit my job, I did have an emergency fund.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So before I quit my job, I had about 6 months of savings.
Right.
So from obviously the payout. So it was like, all right, if I do go into a drawdown, I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
So that also gave me a little bit more of a cushion.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So if you could give someone watching right now one piece of advice that's in the funk right now, they're in the heat of it, like they're in super right now, what would you say to that person?
So if someone's like losing loads of money, can't get funded, first thing you need to do is you need to seek outside help.
Okay.
Right? Your car's broken down. What do? You go to a mechanic. Right? Your health is bad. You go to a doctor because they're a professional. So how am I going to teach myself how to trade if I'm not profitable? You can only do what you've done. So if I've never been profitable, for example, at the start, how am I going to teach myself how to be profitable?
Yeah.
It's like me trying to do open heart surgery on you.
Yeah.
You ain't going to let that run.
Yeah, of course.
So I went to a professional. I went to someone who had the results I wanted. So I would say for them who are losing, like it might hurt. You might have to spend money. You might have to spend time, and it might feel like you're taking a step back. But don't be afraid to reach out to someone who's got the results you want, because some people will genuinely help you and will actually help you change your life if you're willing to be teachable and coachable, of course. So don't be afraid to reach out. That's the number one thing, man. Because when I did that, I had a blueprint. I had a path to follow now. It wasn't just, oh, I'm doing what I think is going to work. It's no, I've got a science of success now. And what I put in is what I got out.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here. And I'm going to say, but bro, like, it's uncomfortable. Like, I don't really want to do that. Like, it hurts. I don't want to put my pride aside. I don't want to be vulnerable. What do you tell that person?
Okay, well, stay where you are.
I mean, I guess that's one way to.
Straight
I guess that's one way to do it. Okay,
know? Like, because at the end of the day, you've got a choice. You got the pain, because life is hard. Let's be real. Success is hard. Failure is hard. Choose your hard. Do you want the pain of staying the same or the pain of change?
Right.
And also reflect on your mortality. Like, we're gonna die at some point. Let's be real for a second.
Yeah.
Now, inshallah, that's not happening soon, right?
Inshallah.
But the point is, realize that time is limited. So if I'm going to continue to be doing the same things, that's just going to get me more of what I've got. So I had to reflect on that mortality and realize, look, time is going past. My family's getting older. I'm getting older. And if I want to make this work, like, I can't be playing games no more myself. So yeah, man, I think that was really it.
You went from, just to backtrack a little bit, right? You went from a place where you were learning and it was quite vague. It was like, there was a lot of ambiguity to it, to a place now where obviously we trade Wyckoff, right? Before we even go into that, do you want to give the people a little bit of an insight into what Wyckoff is, like a little rundown?
Yeah, so I mean, Wyckoff is the OG strategy, right? A lot of people these days are familiar with supply and demand, ICT, order blocks. And all of that is just a subsection of a much deeper strategy, which comes over 200 years ago from someone called Richard Wyckoff. And basically what he's studying is these crazy schematics you can see on screen here. And it looks really complicated, but in essence, it's the footprint the bigger players leave behind when they enter positions. Because these big banks, institutions, when they trade, they can't just drop 10 lots. No, they're trading millions of dollars. It's like if you bought half of the Bitcoins in circulation, the price is going to move.
Yeah.
They're trading so much money, the market will actually move and create footprints when that happens. So what Wyckoff is the study of those footprints and all of the missing gaps of ICT, institutional trade, and SMC. And it helps you understand why you're losing and the real core of everything. Because again, Wyckoff's, the system is over 200 years old. ICT is not 200 years old. SMC is not 200 years old. So this is the original thing where all of these strategies today, every one of it originates from.
Okay, so you went straight to the root.
Yeah.
For the person that, because I've heard this quite a lot, right? For the person that says, oh, but Wyckoff is difficult, it's more complicated. What do you say to that person?
My thing is this, right? If I want professional results, I got to act and be a professional. Like the largest players in the world are the institutions and the banks, right? And they move majority of the money.
Yeah.
How are they trading now? Obviously, they're using a lot of algorithms. We can't do that. But the first thing they're using is economics. Is there a reason for the market to go up or a reason for the market to go down? So firstly, it was using that to know, should I look at accumulations and reaccumulations, or should I look at distributions and redistributions? Now, from there, like, of course, it's hard looking at schematics. Of course, it's hard learning them. Of course, it's hard learning economics. But, you just got to keep doing it, man. Find someone who can break it down simply for you.
Right.
Find someone you can ask questions with and actually talk to on a one-to-one basis or group setting. And based on your budget, of course. Yeah. And learn from them. Don't quit, because like the things that are the best in life are the hardest to get.
Right. Okay.
Like, if, for example, getting a nice body in the gym, like it's valuable because no one really has it, right? Like people like, for example, certain watches or whatever, because no one really has it. It's exclusive. If everyone's got it, it's not that exclusive,
Yeah.
So the point is, it's not like some shiny, crazy thing. It's just finding the real thing that works. And it also made sense to me because I like to think I'm a logical person, and understanding why the market's moving, where it's moving made sense. So like I would say to them, if you always want to learn surface level stuff and get surface level results, stick to what you're doing, stay with the ICT, SMC stuff. Yeah. If you want the deep and real results, go to the real and deep source of the information.
Interesting. Okay, cool. So you're saying, despite how difficult it may be, learn it anyway, because it's going to be better for you. Yeah. Like than learning the surface level stuff, which most people try to learn, realize it's not really as accurate and it doesn't really garner as much profitability.
But is it even really difficult? Like, if you really think about it, what's difficult? Watching a video, rewatching it, asking a question. Is it really that difficult?
Yeah.
Going on the charts, making a mistake, getting feedback, doing it again, doing it again. Like, it's not hard. It's the hard part is controlling your emotions. That's what I think is the hardest part. And that's the same in all success, right? The gym, we all know the gym works, but why do so many people have bad bodies? Because they can't have the discipline, they can't have that emotional control to keep going and keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
So I don't even think the strategy is that hard. I mean, obviously, anything's going to not be, you're not going to learn it straight away, but if you can control yourself, keep learning it, it will come naturally over time. But it's just like learning a language, bro. The language isn't hard. It's just, are you willing to spend enough time and effort to do it consistently over time? Then it becomes second nature.
That makes a lot of sense. Okay, cool. So when did you start to feel like, so moving even further into your journey, right? When did you start to feel like, Eureka, I've got it? Like, was there is there a story that you might have for us, or is there something that happened, or an event that occurred that made you realize, oh snap, I think I've got it?
Yeah, 100%. So
okay, what was that for you?
All of like the strategies and even Wyckoff stuff I was learning before, it was quite vague, right? It was like, okay, accumulation, manipulation of lows, break a structure to the upside, or institutional candle is sell before you buy a candle. It's like, all right, cool, but it's not mechanical, and there's a lot of guesswork and ambiguity behind it. So for example, you're taking a trade off an accumulation, let's say you take 5 trades, they all look slightly different. Versus when I actually got my trading plan from my mentor, again, I didn't invent it, I copied someone, right, who had the results. And once they gave to me a mechanical, scientific approach that was repeatable, for example, how do I know the start of a schematic? I can test it against the chart. I can measure it. I can count each part and have a specific checklist to trade off. That was the moment, because now I'm not guessing, is this an entry? I know it's my entry because my checklist can be validated and tested against the chart like a science, and removed all of my guesswork and doubt.
From a materialistic standpoint per se, is there a certain trip you went on, or a certain thing that you did, or something that you brought that made you realize, okay, like what I'm trying to get down to the bottom of was, when did you realize I'm doing it? Like, you might see a little child riding a bike after falling down. Eventually it's like, wait, daddy, I'm doing it. Like, was there a point for you where it was like, yo, I'm actually doing it? Like, what, if there was, what was that? I want to know the pinpoint time where you was that, shit, this is actually working.
So I quit my job and I was still kind of traveling around America a little bit, but nothing crazy.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, the lockdown happened, and obviously you can't leave your house, and no one's making money. Everyone's losing money. I didn't have a job because obviously I was trading. I was making money through that.
Yeah.
But the real eureka moment was when so 4 of these ladies, they said, "Oh, we're moving out to Bali." I said, "All right, I'll come for a holiday. It's a 4-week holiday." So go there, living in Bali. I'm like, okay, I'm living it a bit, but to be honest with you, I was only out of my job for maybe like not even a year, bro. Right? So still in the back of my head, it was still like, is this really sustainable? Is this really real?
Yeah.
Is this really like, am I really can I keep doing it?
Yeah, that's why. Okay. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
And then so I'm still living there, a little bit of fear behind me, to be honest with you. And then so my holiday comes up, and I'm just like, do I need to go back to England? Like, do I really need to go back? No. Okay. How do I get a visa? Oh, I just pay. Okay, let me just send the money. And I'm stayed there for another month. Like, basically, I just kept changing my flight, and I kept changing it to the point I just cancelled it. Said, forget this flight.
Yeah,
I'm here now. And then eventually it got to like probably about a year after living in Bali, and I'm just like, wow, like I've not been in England for over a year now. Like,
okay, I see.
I'm here, and I had my girl at the time, my girlfriend, and it was like, I'm here, I'm living this thing I really wanted, and it's been a year without having to go back to England.
Yeah.
So that point of being out of England for over a year was the real point where it was like, wow, this is real.
Bro, that is crazy. So you were just like, okay, cool. It dawned on you upon reflection, like, hold on a minute, I'm actually doing this thing. And it wasn't like, was it a thing like, was you still scared at that point?
So less and less and less and less. I think every man, just from me, has that deep sense of fear that can we lose everything, to be honest, because we can.
Yeah.
But just what made it go less and less and less to the point where I don't think it even exists anymore is not saying to yourself, all right, cool, I need to make X amount, I need to make 5K, 10K this month to live or whatever, right? And then doing it. And then doing it again and again and again and again and making more and making more, and it compounds, and it's like it just goes down and down, you know? You feel confident in yourself because you're doing it and you've got the proof. That's the most important thing.
Okay.
And of course, having a track record, right? Yeah. Because before I even quit my job, I did have a track record, so I knew I was profitable, but it was still like, oh, is this going to be sustainable? Then from there, I started working more on my mindset even more, really diving into my psychology, changing my belief systems, and realized, no, like, I can do this, and whatever I put my mind to, what I think about, I become.
Right.
So it's more like, all right, now I got to control my thoughts, master that, and that's really what solidified it.
Obviously, you paid to learn from, you know, someone that obviously that had the results, and you know they guided you through the journey. So I want you to be very honest with this question, right? In hindsight, because you went the more effective route, like you went the more, you know, streamlined route. Do you think, honestly, that you could have gotten to this point alone?
No, because if I would have, right? Like I was trying it by myself without a mentor, without structure, without guidance. And I was doing that for like maybe 6 months, 7 months, and I had nothing to show for it. The only thing I had to show was a lighter bank account. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That makes sense.
So it was like, if I could have done it by myself, I would have done it by myself.
Right.
So I personally believe, like, I mean, deep down, maybe if I spent 5, 10 years, 20 years doing it, maybe it would have clicked one day. But bro, I'm not trying to wait 20 years to become a profitable trader. I wanted that now. Yeah. So the shortest way, and I got this mindset through reading the book Mastery by Robert Greene.
Right.
Not the concise version, the full version.
Right.
Yeah. And
not the concise version, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, not that. And that taught me about valuing learning over money.
Right.
So going through apprenticeship phase where there's going to be a few years where maybe you're taking a hit in your income to focus on value learning over money.
Right.
Like I saw some people, and it's actually my brother who told me this too. Like he was saying, like, don't like go for a promotion at work, because at work at one point I was like, right, do you want to go full time? Do you want to take more hours? And I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, I'm making £400 a month. Like I need more money. But he's like, bro, like, because he told me he saw people who took a promotion at work, they're making more money now, but they then get stuck at that level and can't progress further because they didn't learn any skills.
Okay.
So it was like, all right, let me keep learning, making less money now, learning the skills, because obviously at a job, it's going to go like, it's just going to stay like this, right? Maybe get a promotion, get another promotion, very slowly.
Yeah.
Versus you get a skill, it's like really bad, losing money. But eventually it starts to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
And life's great.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely valuing that learning over money.
Right. So you valued more speed and more intentionality rather than, I can get there, let me save my money. And this is something that I actually want to talk about as well, because a lot, like, I don't hear a lot of people speaking about this, especially in the industry that we're in. But saving money, being a miser, if you will, quote unquote. What's your viewpoint on that?
So I think
Sorry, let me, I just want to add to that actually, because I want to make sure that I give you the full context. When I say that, I mean, when people talk about they want to learn how to trade, their instant thing, for me speaking to people that want to learn how to trade as well, like their instant thing is, I'm going to try and do it on my own. I'm going to try and learn. And the underlying reason a lot of the time is they want to hold on to their money. Because if that wasn't the case, if it was free, everyone would be doing it, right? So what do you think about people wanting to do it for free and wanting to hold on to their money? Like, what's your viewpoint on that?
We've got two views. Number one is coming from a scarcity mindset.
Right.
We attract what we are, not what we want. So when they're going around like, oh, I don't want to invest, I want to save my money, they're coming from a place of fear that more money is not going to come into their life. So we become what we think about. And if we're saying, oh my God, like, I'm not investing because I'm scared that no more money is coming into my life, that's the life they're creating.
Right.
And then the second one is they don't have skin in the game. If you don't pay, you're not going to pay attention, right? For example, if you get a rental car, right, are you going to really keep it clean and tidy?
Yeah.
You get a hotel room, are you really going to keep it clean and tidy, like your house?
Yeah, in my house I will.
Exactly, right? You keep your house tidy because it's yours. You've got that investment in it because you know you've got to be there for X amount of years or whatever. But when you're getting free education, like I've literally put my entire validation criteria on my YouTube channel. But the thing is, people will not take notes of the hands bleed. They won't rewatch it 10, 20, 30 times. They won't ask questions. They won't practice it properly and follow it because there's no skin in the game. Versus when someone pays, X amount for education and spends a couple $1,000s on growing and investing in themselves, bro, they're watching it again and again and again and again.
Yeah.
They're taking it seriously. They're taking notes of their hands bleed. They're not messing up because they've got that investment. And it's like, right, I'm in the deep end now, so it's sink or swim. I've got to do it. It's do or die. Versus, again, the free video, you're watching it like this. You're leaning back. You're on TikTok. You're not taking it seriously. But when you invest and you pay, you're going to pay attention.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. Because I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, you want to save the money. And it's just like, for me, I would just think, why? That money's going to go anyway, right? So if you'd rather let it go to something that is going to help you, or it's going to end up going on a holiday or something. And it's true. Do you know what I mean? You ain't going to get the money back. So yeah, okay, cool, great. So my next question to you now, my bro, and this is something a little bit more selfish for me now. What was it? Like, if you look at you now and look at you when you were first learning how to trade, if you could put it down to like one shift, one thing that was like the major key contributor to you being at where you're at now from this person, what was that thing?
That's a great question. The most important thing that really gave the shift for me was having a structured game plan to actually follow.
Right.
Because before it was just like, right, maybe today I learn a bit of technicals, do a bit of back testing, journal a little bit of trades, right? But actually having a blueprint of, right, cool, let me first learn the technical system. Let me first just back test it and not even worry about trading at all. Now I can get good at technical analysis. Then I can start learning economics and where the market's going to go without needing a chart. Then it was like, all right, cool. Now I know my technicals are good. I know my understanding of the market's good because I've back tested it. I've got feedback on it and I've got experience with that. My eye is now trained. Now it's like, let me actually try to trade on a demo account to see if my psychology influences you. Because if you can back test your socks off, get your markups validated, and you still don't make money, it's got nothing to do with technicals at that point. It's purely psychology.
Right.
So then it was like, all right, cool, my technicals are solid. I'm still losing money. Now I know the only thing left to fix is psychology. Of course, kept developing the technicals as well, keep growing.
Yeah.
So having that plan, say, all right, I can tick this box off, tick this box off, tick this box off, and have someone to hold me accountable and say, no, like, validating me, what you're doing is right, you're doing the right thing, or no, this is wrong, and call me out on my crap.
Yeah.
That was the real thing that helped, and having that actual plan, because I didn't have a plan to follow. I was just doing what I wanted when I felt like it and hoping, throwing stuff on the wall, hoping it stuck. But actually having a plan from a professional who knew what they were doing and who did it before, it was just easy to follow, and that's what helped. Now, when I say easy, emotionally it was hard because you doubt yourself, of course.
Yeah.
People around you doubt, like, bro, so many, like when I used to work in Sainsbury's, people would drive past me. I'd be in the car park pushing trolleys. People would drive past me, laugh at me. Oh, look at him trying to trade. How's trading going? Yeah. How is trading going now? I ain't worked a job in 7 years.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, definitely.
Not trying to be a dick, but it's like, I'm only like that to people who hated on me too,
Yeah.
And it was like having those people who were doubting me and like, being like that, it kind of feels good to prove them wrong in a sense.
Yeah, I can attest to that as
well.
Like
I remember when I used to drink, I don't drink anymore, but I remember once when I came back the first time from Bali, right? We was in this club in Portsmouth, and a bunch of the guys from like an opposite school that used to hate on me, right? And be like, they would come up to me, he used to always cuss me out. I got screenshots of these guys chatting the most crap about me, bro. And then we had a VIP section. And I'm with my girl, with my boys, whatever, right? And they come up, yo, Kira, man, how you going? Your trading's going well. Obviously, they want a bit of the sauce, right? Security,
get these miscreants out of here. Yeah.
So, yeah, man.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Great. So now, my bro, I want to ask you something that is maybe going to be a tearjerker for you. Right? Let me get the tissues ready. What in your journey? I want to know about the worst. Because we're gonna talk about the success, right? I want to know about what was the lowest point in your journey since you've been learning how to trade and on this journey of improving yourself and building yourself up.
Yeah. So if I'm going to be honest with you, there's two of the lowest points. One was on the learning journey, and one was once I was making a bit of money. So when I was on a learning journey, and I told you I went to Miami, right, to learn from that guy, and spent $10,000 on a 2-day mentorship. The first day, I had to walk back like 4 or 5 hours to the accommodation. Bro, I didn't understand anything. It was all so hard. It was all so confusing. So I'm walking back, literally walking through Skid Row, and like, I was distraught, bro. Like, because I think I spent all this money. I'm in debt. I'm walking, and nothing's clicking. Nothing's working. And that was, that was probably one of the lowest points. And then the second time was after living in Bali for about a year and a half. The success got to my head, right? Young guy making money, being cocky. No one could tell me nothing, and it all came crashing down because, I'll be real. I used to smoke weed, and I tried to buy some weed in Bali, and ended up getting set up. I got arrested, and they tried to give me 5 years in prison for obviously trying to buy some weed.
Yeesh.
So I'm sitting in this cell that's like tiny, bro, with like 15, 20 man that don't speak English, like all staring at me, this white guy in this cell. Like, I'm thinking, like, they're going to rape me, they're going to kill me. What, like, you know what it's like in these mad prisons, bro.
Yeah.
Obviously not from experience, I hope.
Yeah. I've seen enough movies. Yeah.
But like, there's a film called The Prayer Before Dawn, and that is exactly what it's like, right? And, I'm sitting in there, like, that first night, they tell me 5 years in prison. Bro, I went back. I just cried, bro. It was sad. Like, I went in the cell. There was like a tiny wall, just like knee height, waist height, with a hole in the ground where everyone shits in. I just pretended to shit and just cried. I was like, 5 years of my life's over.
Yeah.
And then like, I thought, yeah, completely over. And then luckily, my girl, which I didn't really know too well at the time, she was there for me. She was the only person that was there for me at the time.
Yeah.
All my friends that had my back, no one wanted to answer. No one wanted to help. And at that point, like, I think she was there. She was willing to help me, man. And, she helped me. She flew a lawyer in from the capital. It's so corrupt. They made me pay, like, it was like, give me $1 million to get out. And I'm like,
that's crazy.
$1 million?
Yeah.
What do you mean $1 million? And then we negotiated it. I paid him $100K US.
Yeah.
Got out. And then from there, like, it's like, all right, I've been wiped out pretty much, bro, So, like, let me start building myself up. And then from there, it was like, that was the lowest. It was, again, continuing to build.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
since then, bro, like, I left Bali, went back to UK. I was depressed, man. I went back to my mum's house. Imagine that. Like, you quit your job, you're on, bro, like, you're gassed. Yeah, I'm living in Bali now. No one can tell me nothing. Just got hit with a fat chunk of change. All right, obviously I still had some, I still had the skill. That was the important thing. I had the skill. So I knew I did it once, so I can do it again. And I did it. I did it again and again and again and again and again. And again,
of course.
And, that was, 6 years ago now, something like that. And yeah, that was the lowest point. And I think that was the best point in my life.
Yeah.
Because in that cell, I had to have supreme acceptance. Because I was like, I got 5 years. That night I cried. It was like, I actually became at peace with it. And then, like, it was kind of funny because after speaking to the lawyer the next day and my girl, everyone thought, oh, I'm a foreigner, I'm just going to pay him straight away and go. But so I come back up into the cell and everyone starts cheering, like, oh, Kieran, you're back.
Yeah.
And then, like, that from there, it was like, all right, cool, I got to make the best out of it now, best out of the worst. And then from there, I realized, all right, I can control my mind. It doesn't matter what happens to me externally. I have to accept this and I got to make the best of it. And then we was all laughing around in the cell, like trying to just make the best out of what we could,
Yeah, of course. Of course. Okay, so you went from high to low to high. Or the low point where you was walking, obviously, in Miami. Then you went to the high, you started making some money, left your job, then you went to low again. And obviously you're back up. What was it that kind of kept you at a level place the whole time through? Because, bro, after the second L, bro, like, people are weak, bro. A lot of people will be like, you know what, white flag, done now. I'm just going to go back to the standard, way I would just normal, What was it that stopped you from doing that? And what kind of kept you, like, level-headed?
Having a why. A bigger reason than myself, bro. Like, if it was just about going to Dubai and flexing with a Lambo, like, bruv, I would have gave up, you know? But having a bigger reason than myself, being able to give back to my family, being able to have bigger goals of other people than myself to want to help and a bigger mission, that was the thing that kept me going.
Yeah.
So, yeah, bro, it was really just having a bigger mission than myself.
Mission. What is the mission now?
The mission now is continuing to help my family, right? That's my number one, always priority, family over everything. And two is now I want to help people like myself, right? Who, the underdog, the people that no one believes in, the people that their friends are doubting, the people that are showing up every day despite working hard, nothing seems to work. And I think one reason why it doesn't work, because sometimes people got all the motivation, sometimes people got all the drive, especially people from our sort of backgrounds.
Yeah.
They just don't have the right information, because the online is just plastered with rubbish, because people are not trying to help people. People are trying to make a quick buck because they're not giving them real information, because they don't have real information. They're saying, join my free signal group, join this thing, buy this course. But it's like, I want to make real education accessible to real people from real people.
Yeah.
And actually equipping people with the right information, because if I don't want to go too conspiracy here, but like, you know, I think slavery's changed. I think it went from chains and whips to chains and whips.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People are idolizing the wrong things.
Yeah, tell them again.
You know?
Yeah.
Now, for me, it's like people have never tasted some of those things. So let me help people get the things they want and build the life they want. You know, end of the day, I think that our time is the most precious thing in the world, and it's not, our life can never get that back.
Yeah.
1 hour of my life, 1 hour of their lives is not worth £10-20 an hour. You can't put a price on that. And being told when to go to the toilet, being told when to eat your lunch break is unacceptable for any human. So being able to make the information that changed my life accessible to someone else is it, because I've done that to people. You know, like for example, when some of my students are calling me up, right? And like, bro, I've just quit my job. Bro, you helped me. Like one of my students hit his first 50K month in January.
Yeah.
Right? I'll show you his payout here.
Yeah.
Bro, when he hit his first 50K month, like that, obviously disclaimer, right?
Yeah.
That is more fulfilling than making my own 50K month.
Yeah.
Because having that fulfillment, and you know, I like gifts. People like to get me gifts when I help them make money.
Yeah, definitely.
There's also that too.
Yeah. Okay, cool, great. Yeah, so like now the mission is essentially still the same, but it's more concentrated, and it's like not the same, but it's like it's concentrated, but it's like it's bigger than just you. I mean, it's always been bigger than just you, but based on what you said, you know. But now it's just a lot more like, okay, cool, concentrated. And I feel like because I work with you, and I feel like you have more fun now as well, knowing okay, cool, I'm at this point and I'm helping people now.
Yeah.
And just because you're operating from a place of purpose, life every day is just sublime.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like people say, oh, if you're so successful, why do you still do mentorship? Why do you still help people? Well, that tells me more about you than it does about myself.
Facts.
If you're successful, you don't want to help people because you're selfish. So for me, like, I've got nothing. What else am I going to do? Sit on a beach all day long in Phuket, in Thailand, whatever. That's boring. You know, you do it for a week, yeah, it's fun. But you do it for 5-6 years, it's dead. So doing a Zoom call with someone, throwing our events we do, right? That's fun. That's like, I get so much joy from doing that.
Facts.
You know, so that's my real, like, that's my kick, you know, helping others. I really value that.
Yeah.
And to be honest, even from a kid, like I always sort of liked that feeling of helping people, bro. And I always tried to help people in areas that I couldn't, you know. But definitely at the start, it was like, let me get my ducks in a row first. Now I can start helping others.
Yeah,
you know, some people, they want to help others, like when they can't even help themselves.
Yeah,
you know?
Facts.
You get on the plane, they say, put your own oxygen mask on first
100
before you help others.
Definitely. Yeah, I like that. So another selfish question for myself before we wrap up, right? You're seeing success now, and you've come from a place where there was no success at all. Do you still, because I won't lie to you, bro, I feel sometimes I still get little niggles of doubt from time to time. Do you still have that?
Of course.
And how do you not tackle it? I don't think it's something, well, maybe you feel different. I don't think it's something that's tackled per se, but how do you manage that, and like how do you move through that?
So I think one of the most profound realizations that helped me overcome self-doubt was realizing that thoughts are not you, right? We are not our own thoughts. We are simply the observer of our thoughts. It's like if you just close your eyes and think, hello, 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 there's part of you that produces that voice, and there's part of you that listens to the voice. Now you might have to do that again a few times to understand the two parts of you. But realizing that when a thought comes to me, it's just like a cloud going past. And the reason like why people get sucked into that negative spiral of self-doubt is because they identify with their thoughts and think, I am that thought. A thought is just a download from society. Like if I'm with someone who's fat, bro, like I'm going to think about burgers. I'm going to think about pizza more. If I'm with someone who's lean, I'm going to be more calorie conscious. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's realizing that these thoughts are from our environment and they're just downloads, and I don't have to focus on that thought. So if a thought like that comes in, which happens all the time, bro, like even sitting here before this podcast, I'm a bit nervous. I don't know if this is going to be good. I could focus on that and spiral negatively, or I can just wait, breathe in, ground myself, let it pass, and then redirect my thoughts onto the things I want. Transmute the energy. It's a law of the universe. If you're focusing on negative, just do the opposite. Focus on positive. And like sometimes I had to retrain my brain. And so like I would almost be like a crackhead. Like I was thinking negative thought and be like, no, cancel.
Yeah,
I would say that, and I'll then redirect my thought onto the thing I want.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes that can help. Another way, because sometimes the thoughts can be emotionally charged. You can actually feel like a type of way.
Yeah.
So in that, it's just allowing myself to breathe, accept it, and let that emotional run its course.
Right.
Let go of it.
Okay.
Because it's not, emotions are like the weather. It's going to change. It's going to pass.
Facts. So you don't focus on like fighting them. You kind of you almost just letting them pass and just, okay, see you later. And you're just moving on with your day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I think another thing that really reduces that before we wrap up is surround yourself with the right people and be more conscious of what you consume on a day-to-day basis. Because when I would listen to a lot of music about drugs, sex, or violence, that's what I would think about more. But when I'm listening to wake up, like affirmations, I am happy, I am successful, I am confident, hearing that as soon as I wake up, because that's when we're the most open to ideas, that is what starts to rewire my brain. Disconnecting myself from negative people, surrounding myself with people that are going to push me. Like, for example, I train in the gym with this guy called Boom. He's a #1 bodybuilder in Thailand. Like, he's always pushing me. He's always telling me, no, do another rep. Or my friend Victor, he's always saying, no, helping you. But like, oh, you look good today, bro. You look better. Surround yourself with people like that is important, I think.
Yeah.
Because when I used to hang out with certain people, it's like, oh, bro, what are you wearing today? Oh, bro, that trading thing, come on, bro, that's not going to work. Like, people are like haters. Getting those people out of your life and really consuming information that's actually going to help you, and surrounding yourself with people that speak life into you. You know, we got passwords on our phone, but no passwords on our mind.
Real. So I guess my last question to you, my bros, is this then. So if you could sum up all of your experience in 10 years?
Yeah,
10 years
about
now,
10 years now, yeah.
Yeah. So if you could like wrap up everything and put it all into one little gift that you could give to somebody that is watching this right now, and they're like, yo, what is happening right now? Like they're down in the dumps right now. They're seeing no progress. They've been trading for a little while maybe, and they're not seeing success. Or maybe it's something else. Maybe it's not even trading. Maybe it's business or something else. And they're down in the dumps right now. What one piece of advice would you give to that person right now that they can tangibly go away from this video and say, this is what I'm doing today. This is the focus of my day today. What would you say?
100%. I would say, firstly, you got to regulate your emotions and realize that God always gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers. When you sign up for education, you sign up for being a full-time trader, God, the universe, will never give you the result. It will give you the lessons, people, places, circumstances, and events to craft you into the person who's worthy of that result. Now, realizing that it's not going to be easy, it's going to be challenges. It's now actually going for a blueprint. 1, find someone who's got the results you want and has successful students you can actually speak to. Like, for example, in our communities, you can speak to your students who've got payouts. You can speak to my students who've got payouts. Come in, speak to those people, realize, okay, it's real. Then follow the blueprint and completely drop your ego. And you're going to have to do things that don't even make sense to you sometimes. Focus on technical analysis first. For example, our validation criteria that we use, back test that. Go on, get thousands of examples, as much as you can. Examples, send them into the group, send them to your mentors. Get that feedback to know that you're good at technical analysis. Once you're good at that, then start learning economics. Go through our videos, go through our trainings. Once you've learned the economic cycle, speak to your mentor, speak in the groups, go on the Zoom calls we host 4 times a week, right? Hop on those calls, tell us your thesis, tell us what you're doing, what you think and why. We can validate that for you and tell you if it's accurate or not and have a discussion. Now you've ticked off technical analysis because your back tests are perfect, you're not getting any corrections. Your economics are perfect because you're getting the direction without looking at the chart. Then focus on your psychology, where you can not break your rules, not hesitate, or not be too aggressive. Once you've got those skills in place, the only last thing now is to collect data, journal your trades, journal your thoughts, track your trades over time, do sample sizes of 20 trades, 40 trades, 50 trades. X, Y, Z, entry criteria, take it 20 times, then go back, look at what works, what doesn't, change one thing. 20 more times, what worked, what didn't work, change one thing. Keep doing that, keep speaking to your mentor, keep growing, and stop thinking you're too big for the little things. Once you become too big for the little things, you become too little for the big things. Stay close to the campfire, keep growing, keep trying, and don't give up.
Whoosh. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have heard it here first. I just want to say, from my perspective, from me to you, bro, Sensei, thank you. Yeah. Not even just for the, for just giving us so much information, but just even for that, the way you've helped me, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, bro, I won't even lie to you. Like, there's been a lot of changes in my personal trading that I don't think wouldn't have taken place. Either they wouldn't have taken place or they wouldn't have taken place when they did and led me to this point as fast had I not seeked out and gotten that information from yourself, and had you not been the sensei to me that I kind of was looking for. Do you see what I'm saying? So I just want to give it back to you and just give you your flowers and say, like, bro, whatever you're doing, please keep that shit up, bro. Please, And ladies and gents that are watching right now, please, in the comments, give it to my brother. Yeah, because he really did shut it down today. So with that being said, ladies and gents, it's been your boy, Nate Be Lit. And we've got my boy,
Master O'Quinn.
Yeah, and ladies and gents, that's been another interview from your boy, Nate Be Lit. We will be doing more of these as well, events. Bro, we've got a whole load of stuff coming out. So guys, if you guys have any questions, any burning questions, feel free to put them in the comments as well. And I'm going to get those questions answered to you by my brother, or even some of our other students that we'll be interviewing in the future as well. So that being said, remember to keep your heads on that bread. And what's your quote again, my bro?
I'll see you at the top, from the top, because you know that bottom is way too crowded.
There we go. Take care.